We are reading Walt Disney's classic story, 101 Dalmatians. Once there were two Dalmatians named Pongo and Perdita. They lived in a snug little house in London. Their pets, Anita and Roger Radcliffe, lived with them. Nanny, the housekeeper, took care of them all. And one day Pongo got some wonderful news. Perdita was going to have puppies. Everyone was very happy. At last, the big day arrived. The puppies are here, Nanny cried. How many? Asked Roger. 8, Nanny replied. No, shouted Anita from the other room. 11. Wait, 15. 15 puppies. Perdita was very proud. Pongo, you old rascal, said Roger. He thought the puppies were wonderful. They'll get their spots when they're a little bigger, Nanny told him. Suddenly, there was a clap of thunder. In swept Anita's old friend, Cruella de Vil. Her long fur coat trailed behind her. I see the puppies are here at last, she said. I'll buy them all. They're not for sale, replied Roger. You'll be sorry, Cruella snapped as she stormed off. Pongo and Perdita were happy to see her leave. But Cruella wasn't finished. They can't stop me, she cackled. Cruella hired Horace and Jasper Batten to steal the puppies. As soon as you have a chance, sneak into their house and grab those puppies, she told them. You must wait until the puppies get their spots, she added, but then they'll be mine. Each day the puppies grew bigger, and each day they got more spots. The puppies liked watching television. The show they liked the most was about a dog named Thunderbolt. Get him, Thunderbolt, shouted Penny. Time for bed, Pongo said when the show ended. Oh, Dad, we're not sleepy, said Lucky. After the puppies went to bed, Pongo and Perdita went to the park. They took Roger and Anita with them. But as soon as they went out, Horace and Jasper went in. Jasper locked the nanny in the attic, and Horace put all the puppies into a bag sack. They took all 15 puppies. When Roger and Anita returned, Nanny told them what happened. Roger called the police, but the police couldn't find the puppies. Perdita and Pongo were very upset. Then Pongo had an idea. Let's try the Twilight Park, he said. It's our only hope. All right, agreed Perdita. Yap and yip and yelp, yelp, yelp. 15 puppies need your help. Calling all hounds, yippers and yappers. Please help us find the cruel kidnappers. The message was passed from dog to dog. It woke up Towser, a bloodhound who lived way out in the country. Humph! Growled Towser to Lucy the goose. A message from the city. An important one, too. I'd better tell the folks on the farm. Old Towser's barking woke up a cat named Sergeant Tibbs. And Tibbs told Captain, a horse, to awaken the sheepdog named Colonel. And the Colonel pricked up his ears. 15 spotted puppies were stolen. I think that's puppies, sir. Tibbs remembered hearing some barking at the old DeVille place. "Nonsense! That house has been empty for years," said the colonel. "Not any longer," Captain answered. "There's smoke rising from the chimney." "Then we'd better investigate, Tibbs," barked the colonel. They went to the old house. Sergeant Tibbs slipped into the house. What a surprise! He saw 99 Dalmatian puppies. 15 were huddled in front of the TV. "Those must be the ones," Tibbs said. He raced back to tell the others. The colonel sent a message. Dog by dog, the message was passed from the country to the city. "Listen, Purdy," said Pongo. "It's the Great Dane. He has an answer for us." The 2 Dalmatians raced to meet the big dog. "The puppies have been found at the DeVille place," the Great Dane said. "We must go at once," cried Perdita. When they got to the country, Sergeant Tibbs and the colonel were already waiting for them. "Follow us," said Sergeant Tibbs. "There's no time to waste." They sneaked into the old house. "What does Corella want with all these puppies?" they heard Jasper ask. "She says she's going to make them into a coat," Horace answered. "A dogskin coat?" cried Perdita. "How cruel!" She counted the puppies. "Pongo," she whispered, "there are 99 puppies here." "We must take them all home with us," Pongo replied. "Let's go." Sergeant Tibbs led the way. Horace and Jasper didn't see them leave. They were too busy watching television. The Dalmatians followed Tibbs to the barn, but they weren't safe yet. Horace and Jasper had finally noticed the puppies were gone, and they were following their tracks in the snow. "Here they come!" shouted Tibbs. "We better do something." "We'll hold them off," Captain told Pongo. The Dalmatians escaped out the back door, and Captain gave the bandits a swift kick when they came through the front door. Pongo and Perdita led the puppies through a snowstorm. Suddenly, Pongo heard a car. "Quick, hide," he urged. The dogs hid under a bridge. Luckily, Horace and Jasper didn't see them. Pongo decided to walk along the frozen stream, and that way Horace and Jasper couldn't follow their tracks. Home seemed very far away. "My nose is froze," whispered Lucky, "and my tail is froze, and now my toes are froze." All the puppies were tired and hungry. Just then Pongo heard a friendly bark. "Follow me," said a collie. "I have a place for you to stay." The collie led them to a warm barn, and some friendly cows gave the puppies plenty of milk to drink. Soon 99 puppies were fast asleep in the hay. Pongo and Perdita thanked the cows and the collie. "Tomorrow morning you can go to the village," said the collie. "A Labrador retriever will meet you there, and he'll show you how to get home." The next morning Pongo and Perdita continued on their way. Pongo knew that Cruella would be looking for them. He tried to brush away their tracks with a branch, but Cruella saw the tracks. "They're headed for the village," she shrieked. When the dogs reached the village, the Labrador was waiting for them. He'd led them to an empty blacksmith shop. "I've got a ride for you," he said. "A van is leaving for London soon, and there's room for all of you." But Cruella and her men had reached the village too. Cruella was angry with Horace and Jasper. Find them now," she shouted. "Pongo, how will we get to the van?" Perdita whispered. Just then, Lucky said, "Patch pushed me." He was covered with soot. "He pushed me first," Patch whined. "He was covered with soot too." That gave Pongo an idea. He rolled in the soot. Look, I'm a Labrador. Come on, Purdy, let's all become Labradors. Soon, all the Dalmatians were covered in soot. We're gonna fool that nasty lady, the pups giggled. The van was getting ready to leave. Better hurry, said the Labrador. One by one, the puppies got into the van, and they almost made it. But the last puppy got stuck in the snow, and the snow washed off the soot. There they are, Cruella cried. The van pulled away in the nick of time. After them, Cruella shouted. Cruella drove too fast for the slippery road. Watch out, cried Horace. But it was too late. Cruella's car tumbled down a hill. Everyone landed in the deep, soft snow, but the car was smashed to pieces. Back in London, Anita and Nanny were decorating the Christmas tree. Roger was too upset to help. I miss Pongo and Purdy so much, said Anita. I know, answered Nanny. Sometimes at night, I think I can hear them barking, but it always turns out to be just a dream. Wait, cried Anita. Did you hear that bark? Nanny flung open the door. A large black dog jumped on Roger and covered him with kisses and soot. It's Pongo and Perdita with their little ones, cried Nanny. She began to dust off the puppies. Then Anita and Roger noticed the room was filled with dogs. All in all, there were 101 Dalmatians. Whatever shall we do with them? Anita asked. Well, we'll buy a bigger place in the country, said Roger. A Dalmatian plantation. It was a very Merry Christmas after all. And that was 101 Dalmatians. Thank you so much for sticking around and listening to this story. I hope to see you for the next one. Have a great day.